Greetings and salutations, my brothers. Welcome to the head of media, aka the Sultan of Savvy, aka Cabo Zeke. And why is that? Because while you training, I'm in Cabo kicking up my feet. But anyway, man, I'm so thrilled that you're here to join me today, and I've vowed to make this quick and to the point. Sit down, hit the like button, and let's get going. See, this is for the 2K heads. See, I dabble too, and we're here to visualize and conceptualize what this next 2K next gen journey is gonna be like. Decisions to be made, options, and really what we want. Okay, see, about 8 months from now, we'll get the new consoles: PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. It might even be mid-grade consoles added with them. And we're hearing all about possible specs through leaks and things like that. But one thing I think we all agree on, that it better be a huge improvement. And I'm looking forward to the upgrades and the improvements. I'm really optimistic and positive minded on what we are to expect. But I gotta be honest before I move forward. I am not mad at what have experienced with the current generations of the PS4 and the Xbox One. I'm not upset at how the graphics for 2K in particular have looked. I've been pleased with them. I remember when it first happened, coming from my PS3, I jumped from PS3 to Xbox One. It was the worst mistake I ever made in gaming, but I'm still having fun with it, and that's all that matters. That's a topic for another day. But I remember getting 2K14 on both, and I looked at my current generation when I got the Xbox One, and looked at how the PS3 2K13 or 14 looked, and it was like night and day. But before I got it, I was sitting there like, ain't nothing wrong with these graphics. So I expect, while I'm all right and comfortable with what we've been dealing with, that looking back on current generation, when it becomes obsolete and outdated, I'll be like, oh man, that was some whack stuff, you know? But just wanted to make that clear, that I'm not here to gripe and moan and aka bitch. You know, I'm just trying to let you know that we expected, but it hasn't been like we've been dealing with garbage. But I do expect huge jumps in progress and processing power, graphical power. I expect all that, gameplay, all that. Or what's the point? I mean, we spend a lot of money on this stuff, so you know, if you're not going to give us nothing that jumps off the screen as an improvement, then you really are cheating us as the consumer. Because what's the point again of you doing it if it's only going to be a couple things more improved? Like the jerseys might be a little bit brighter, you know, you might can add a couple more animations. No, we need across the board improvements, because you're making us spend half of a rack on new equipment to experience these enhancements, and you're doing it kind of like a keeping up with the Joneses type concept, or iOS Apple concept, where Apple will purposely not improve or maintain current products so that you're forced to upgrade. You're kind of forcing us to upgrade like you did from the last generation to this current one. So we expect to see the progress, in my opinion. But another point I wanted to make is, I also feel like this is old technology that we're about to experience. we always hear the rumors of so and so government this and tech company that has always had this technology for years. Anything that hits the public has already been invented 15 or 20 years prior. And I kind of do believe that to an extent. And I understand my concept has always been they can't come out with the greatest invention in the world right when they make it, because then how do you ever top that greatest? You know, you have to give people a watered down version of what the best is so that you have something to fall back on when people get tired of what you've already given them. You got to understand, we look at a 1985 station wagon and say, oh, that's a horrible car. I would never get caught driving that car. But you got to think, somebody who rode horses back in the Red Dead Redemption day, to them, that station wagon is amazing. You get what I'm saying? And now we have the arrogance as a civilization to poo-hoo that kind of stuff. So, you know, they're going to hold on and trickle things down. I get that. So just don't cut us so low. That's all I'm saying. No, I don't expect LeBron James to jump so good off the computer screen, off the TV screen, that he jumps into my living room. But you know what I'm saying? Let me be able to notice the difference. And I mentioned earlier that I actually had both games because I didn't upgrade my console till 2015, and they had already been out for a couple years. So I was still on my PS3 up until that point, and that's why I wound up getting both basketball games, the PS3 version and the Xbox One version. But I heard horror stories of people who actually bought the new Xbox One or PS4 upon its release, and they already had the same games on the last gen console, and they were complaining about they weren't able to carry their progress from their last gen console on 2K to the new gen console that came out in 2013, and they felt kind of cheated by that. So my question is, do you guys plan on getting both, or do you plan on being one of the first people to get the new consoles that come out so that you can only get 2K one time and you don't have to buy it twice? Leave a comment. Let me know down in there. Let's start the conversation. Let's just see what people feel like they plan on doing. Because you might be able to help other people who are undecided. Because we all know the whole point of YouTube, almost as important as the content that we watch, is the comments in the comment section, because we learn a lot. We get to bounce ideas off of each other in the comment section. So I'm asking you all to join in with that too if you like this. Even if you don't leave a like, at least leave a comment. I'm not worried about everybody liking it as long as people can start the conversation and the dialogue. But once again, thank you for watching though. But yeah, I just wonder, is everybody gonna pre-order? Like me, I want to wait. I've learned my lesson. Like buying that old Xbox One in 2015, and then practically a year later they came out with the One X and the One S. I was very cheated, I felt, because I paid top of the line dollars for that Xbox One just for it to be an obsolete, raggedy box. You know what I'm saying? Within 1 year of me buying it. So you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to wait, because it's just like the PS3 came out and it had that big bulky low gigabyte box that was so expensive, and then they came out with the PS3 Slim and it was just killing everything. You know what I'm saying? Mine was 250 gigabytes. You know what I'm saying? The people who had bought the release date ones felt cheated. They had to go on to upgrade to the same damn system. And you know, so I feel like waiting, but the problem with waiting is you're playing an obsolete console while other people are getting familiar with the new one. So it's a give and take. But you guys let me know what you plan on doing. Leave it in the comments. Moving on, I also want to say small things make a a big difference. Um, Little things can amount to big things, and what I mean by that is one of the things I'm looking forward to is graphic details, and we have a lot of detail in graphics, but if you notice, like during the snow, during the holiday season, when you had snow in the park on 2K, when you ran across the snow, no footprints were left. You know what I'm saying? Something like that could be a small detail that doesn't matter. Nobody's crying because that didn't happen, but it's something where you be like, thank you. You know, because I noticed people cried that they wanted nighttime and things like that, change of seasons and stuff like that. And they kind of got it with, you know, while we're on the park, we get daytime and we see the sun moving across the sky, and then it turns dark and we get to play overnight. Things like that. They kind of listened on that. So, you know, if you're charging us all this money for this upgrade, have little stuff like that. Stiffness. Even though the animation is excellent on 2K, there's still a level of stiffness with the characters. That, you know, body movements are fluent, and they're also individual. Somebody's movement is different across the board. It's kind of like a snowflake. Every person is different. For those of you who remember watching the Knicks with Anthony Mason, the power forward for the Knicks, the way he would run up and down the court dribbling the ball, he looked like a statue with his high stepping statue as he dribbled the ball. You know, but when you played the video game, because this was the 90s, so the graphics were not able to produce that, you didn't get to see that. You know, he ran just like every other character on there. You look at Zion, you know, they made fun. Charles Barkley on the NBA show that he does made fun while Zion was injured, saying, I'm going to teach him how to run, because they're saying he's injured because he doesn't run right. You know, things like that. Show that in the game. Why? Because we're paying half a rack plus all the additional costs it takes to have this new system just to continue and not get locked out of gaming. So we want that shown. I look at the hairstyles. Come on now, the dreads. I don't even wear dreads. I ain't never grew dreads or ever desired to grow dreads, other than the fact that you get coochie for wearing dreads. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you get the chicks. But, you know, when I throw my character some dreads on in the game, his dreads be stiff. I mean, they don't hang, they don't drip, nothing like that. And that ain't right. My last thing is jump shots. I want my jump shot created too. Yeah, and the jump shot creator is a wonderful thing because it makes you feel like you have control of how you shoot your shot. We get that. But with this next generation, it's time, in my opinion, that we don't have to go through 20-second loading screens, 30-second loadouts just to get to your screen. Then you gotta select this and that. I want the jump shot creator to turn into something that's on the go, on the fly type setting, to where you can do it almost like a light switch, where you can, let's say you're playing the game, let's say you're in park, let's say you win the game, so you don't step off unless you choose to. But while you're in between of waiting on the next squad to come on and face you, you know that you had just made a new shot, practiced it, you thought you liked it, got out there, and you learned as during gameplay that it was a horrible shot. Okay, you don't have to step out or wait till you lose before you can change it. You can just do it right there on the fly while you're waiting on the next game to load up. We deserve that, and it's able to be done. I'm not falling for it. Let's do that, 2K. I'm gonna make a video. That's why I'm cutting that comment short, because I need a whole video with that by itself just to explain what I'm so upset about Jump Shot Creator. And just to sum it up, We need improvements like that because we need the people that have a poor time shooting to have the luxury of being able to process information faster. That's why we need to speed up jump creator time. You know, you got 1,000 jump shots you can make, so you don't need to be spending an hour on 4 jump shots while you're trying to figure out which one you like. You know, you need to speed that process up, but that's for another day. Rounding off my list is the SSD leak, the information leak, because we got about the official PlayStation information release with the specs and all that is about 5 days from now when I'm making this. So yes, we'll know officially what it'll look like, what kind of power it'll have, things like that, instead of all these people thinking they are experts. The Xbox people making fun, talking about what it ain't gonna do, the PlayStation people talking about what it is gonna do, and none of us really know until they really drop the info. But however, we need that SSD to speed up these load times into our my courts and into the gyms and into the games. We're only playing my career for the most part because you're forcing us to do that to upgrade our player, to unlock attributes for our player. Fair enough. But we tired of having to go through these long ass load screens when we really logged on to play the park. And you forcing us to do the hard work to get out there. It's feasible, I get it. But come on now, make it to where we can get in and get out. That's all we saying. And with the SSD, if that's true that it has that and it's so fast, then we expect to have that. I'm gonna give you guys a brief history run. As you all know from looking at your parents' video game experience, you know the old Nintendos and all that stuff had cartridges. The Sega Genesis, they had game cartridges. I think it was around PlayStation that came out with the CD-ROM type game and brought the loading times. What I'm saying is those cartridges had no loading time. You put your game in and you played it. Yes, it had less computing power, and you figure that's part of why, and actually that's part of why we embrace the PlayStation and the long loading times, because we're like, we're getting a superior product. All the information that it needs to process. That's why it's the loading time. We got that, and we didn't cry about it. Personally, we sat there and said, come on, gameplay, but you know, we dealt with it. But yeah, let's get rid of all this long ass loading time. We don't need to go into the elevator and sit there, and we trying to hurry up and get to our court and practice. So guys, if you agree with anything I said, hit a like. If you disagree, hit a like. Come on now, it ain't gonna cost you nothing. And definitely hit the comments. You know, the comment section is for us in the 2K community to throw shots back and forth at each other, jog information off of each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a community for a reason, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna sign out, man. You know, I got more content coming, man. This was just a brief run through to let y'all know what I'm expecting from the next release of consoles. And if you guys have anything you think you want from it, drop it in the comment section. Peace.